Hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. And welcome to the show once again, people. How are you all today? Is your day going well? Yes? Good. And what about your life in general? Hopefully that's also going well. If not, well, it's bound to improve, isn't it? It's going to get better, believe me. All right, now, what did we see yesterday? Yes, we saw a conversation between Alfredo and Dave, didn't we? Yes, and there were a couple of things that we had a look at, weren't there? The first thing we looked at was when Dave didn't want to upset Alfredo. Dave didn't want to upset him. He didn't want to make Alfredo unhappy with what he was saying. Dave knows that what he's going to say to Alfredo is, well, connected to a sensitive subject. Dave is about to tell Alfredo that he smells really, really badly. And because we all know that people are sensitive about how they smell, Dave is trying to make his sentence nicer. What Dave is doing, or almost doing, is apologizing for mentioning the fact that Alfredo smells. Okay, and we know that this is normal. This is something we all do. If we have a friend or colleague at work who has really bad breath, then it's very difficult to tell them. The easiest way, of course, is to contact human resources. It's their job. Let them handle it. All right, now, we know that someone might have really bad breath. Maybe they don't brush their teeth. Maybe they eat raw onions and garlic all the time. And even then, they don't. They refuse to brush their teeth. Now, for a start, that probably means that their teeth are a mess. But let's concentrate on something else for a moment. Another problem that we normally pussyfoot around.
Eddie, how did you get this drunk on £1.75?
There's a sale on at the chemist's.
What do you mean?
Old Spice, 25p a bottle. Where'd the floor go?
Okay, so maybe this person's mouth is a mess, a smelly mess. But there could be other problems with this person's hygiene as well, couldn't there? Yes, it's one thing that someone's breath smells like a homeless dinosaur's armpits. But what about their armpits? That's another danger zone, isn't it? Yes. Think about it. Your armpits are possibly the hottest, sweatiest areas of your body. Your arms are always moving around, and that increases the temperature of your armpits. To counter this raise in temperature, to try and work against it, your body produces sweat, that water which comes out of your skin. Think about what happens when you go into a sauna. You start to sweat. This sweat, this water coming out of your skin, is a result of your body trying to control your temperature. Okay, now we all know that armpits are a danger zone for sweat. All right, but fresh sweat isn't a problem. Fresh sweat doesn't really smell. But as sweat gets older, bacteria start to grow, and then the sweat starts to smell. This is BO. Yes, 2 initials. And they stand for what? BO stands for body odor. An odor is just another word, a synonym for a smell. But we normally use the word odor with negative smells. If someone gives you some flowers, then there are a few words in English you can use to talk about the smell of the flowers. First of all, you can use the verb to smell. This verb can be used with both positive and negative ideas. So, although everyone told Alfredo, "You smell," or "You smell terrible," we can also use the same verb, normally with a positive adjective, to talk about a positive smell. These flowers smell lovely. All right, now, moving on. We can also use the word scent to talk about a smell. And again, like the word aroma, another noun we use to mean a smell, scent is usually used to talk about a nice smell. So, we might say that there is a nice aroma coming from the kitchen when someone is baking. We might say that someone loves the scent of freshly cut grass. And as long as we're talking about something positive, we can also say that something in the kitchen smells nice, or we can say that someone loves the smell of fresh bread, or something like that. Okay, but as we've just learned, the word odour is normally used with unpleasant smells. So, let's recap a little. We've got the verb to smell, which we can use with nice smells or with nasty smells. We can also use the noun, smell, again with positive ideas. There's a smell of coffee, or with negative ideas. My granny lives in a tiny flat with 76 cats. You can imagine the smell. All right, so that's smell and to smell. Now, let's stay with that negative idea. So that leads us to odour. And as I said before, we normally use the noun odour to describe strong, unpleasant smells. So when we're talking about BO, when we're talking about the smell of a person's body, the smell of a person's body who hasn't washed for a while, then yes, we use the word odour. And when we look at the two initials we use to say that someone smells, that their body is smelly, then one of the initials, O for odour. The other, B for body. O for odour, B for body, B-O, body odour, Mr. or Mrs. Stinky. It's the same with clothes. When you sweat and you're wearing clothes, then naturally some of the sweat will go into the clothes that you're wearing. Your clothes are made of different materials, but all of the materials that clothes are made of are absorbent. Do you all remember that word? Absorbent. It's an adjective we get from the verb to absorb. Think about a sponge. If you put a dry sponge into water, what happens? That's right, the sponge absorbs the water. Think about kitchen towel. All the manufacturers of kitchen towel tell us in every advert that their kitchen towel is better than the other kitchen towels because it's more absorbent. It absorbs more liquid than other kitchen towels. If you spill some milk, then you know that it's a daft idea to try and clean the mess up with your eyebrows. Eyebrows aren't very absorbent, so you won't be able to clean the mess up. Okay, so why is the fact that clothes are absorbent important? Well, that's simple. Clothes absorb some of your sweat, some of that water that your body releases to try and regulate your temperature. Now, this is all completely normal, but with some people in your office perhaps, there's a problem because these people are too lazy to wash their clothes regularly. These people think, I've only worn this shirt once. It's practically fresh out of the washing machine. And yes, you can think that, but, and here's the but, and it's a big but, the sweat that your shirt absorbed, that sweat is getting older and older every minute. And the bacteria that make it smell, they're increasing in number. Okay, so maybe the next time Mr. Stinky puts his shirt on, he checks it first. He smells the area of the shirt closest to the armpit. And Mr. Stinky decides, hey, I can't smell anything. This shirt is really almost perfectly clean. What a good thing that I didn't wash it. That would have been a complete waste of time and money. Okay, all right. But this situation won't last. As Mr. Stinky's body warms up, the warmth from his body activates the bacteria in the sweat, and hey presto, bing bing flippong, Harry Chenson. What happens? Yes, that's right. Mr. Stinky now smells as bad as Alfredo. Now, As I said, and we saw when Dave Squid tried to broach the subject with Alfredo, normally it's very difficult to tell someone that they smell. That's why we all pussyfoot around the problem. We talk about dentists and how often we clean our teeth, hoping that our friend or colleague, the one with the breath like homeless dinosaurs' armpits and teeth like a city after the Second World War, will pick up on the hint and buy a toothbrush, some toothpaste, some mouthwash, and then book an appointment with a dentist. And it's the same thing with people we know. Maybe our friends, maybe our colleagues who forget to wash their clothes as many times as they should. Then, of course, we also have people who are allergic to water and soap. And that leads to things like this. Okay, and apart from the smell, there's another problem, isn't there? And what's this problem? Well, it's exactly the same problem, isn't it? How can you tell someone about something so embarrassing? How can you talk to someone about such a sensitive subject? It's a terrible thing to do, isn't it? That is, unless, like these boys, you don't really like the person. In that case, it's easy.
Yeah, this complete stranger came up to me, right, and called me smelly. This complete stranger shouted smelly at me. I wouldn't have minded, but he was 100 yards away. I mean, come on, guys, you can tell me, truthfully, do I smell?
Yes.
I mean, come on, guys, I can handle it. You can tell me, do I smell? What do you mean, yes?
We mean yes, you smell. Smelly.
Oh, great, yeah.
Sit down, Neil.
Sorry.
Okay, so that's definitely one solution. Be brutally honest. Yes, but I'm not sure that I could do that without a few drinks. No, without a few drinks to make us feel brave, without some Dutch courage, as it's called. The fact that people feel braver and much more willing to do things after they've had some alcohol. I don't think that the boy's method of telling Neil about his personal hygiene problems is the solution for most of us. No, the chances are that just as we did with the bad breath friend, with the BO friend, Mr. Stinky, we'll try to drop hints. We'll try to push them in the right direction and hope that they get the hint and start washing themselves and also their clothes. And how are we going to push them in the right direction? How are we going to influence their thinking? Ah, yes, that's right. We're going to get everyone in the office to buy them some soap or shower gel or aftershave or perfume. We'll speak to everyone in the family and everyone in the office and convince them all. We'll talk to all of them and persuade them all, convince them that the best present for them is shower gel, deodorant, antiperspirant, soap, perfume, aftershave, and things like that. And then, what do? Well, then we wait. We wait and we cross our fingers that the penny, bling, will drop, that this person will finally understand, will finally get the message that we're all trying to give them. Okay, now what else was there in that conversation? What other new or fairly new words did we hear? Well, there was one word we heard which was used in two ways, as a noun and then as a verb. The word is stuff. If we use this word as a noun, then it's just another word that we use to mean things. It's just a collective noun. We can say lots of things using the noun stuff. Sports is all about running and stuff. Did you buy the stuff I asked you to? He's good at technical stuff. I only buy stuff in the sales. What's that green stuff over there? So, as you can see, the noun stuff is very versatile. We can use it to mean lots of different things, but the verb is a different kettle of fish. The verb to stuff means to completely fill something with something. Think about a pillow or a cushion. Essentially, a pillow or cushion is a fabric shell stuffed with some sort of soft filling. feathers or something soft to make the pillow or cushion soft and comfortable to sit on or rest your head on. Okay, so that's the first meaning of the verb, but we can also use it with food. Think about stuffed cabbage. Cabbage leaves filled with meat. Cabbage leaves which have been stuffed or filled with meat. Now, we can also use the verb to stuff to talk about eating. We can use the verb to stuff yourself as an informal way of saying that you ate and ate and ate and ate. It's a little bit extreme. If we're talking about someone stuffing themselves, then it's not so much the normal idea of eating. It's more the idea of when we're thinking of Christmas turkeys, when an animal is completely filled with food. Not a very comfortable thought. So, if you hear someone say that they're stuffed, it's normally connected to the idea of regret. This person has eaten a lot, possibly too much, and now they feel like a Christmas turkey. Not the best feeling in the world. All right, but when Dave used the verb to stuff, he was talking about Eddie Finn. Dave was answering Alfredo's question. Alfredo asked Dave what Eddie tried to steal and where he hid the stuff that he was trying to steal. And Dave said he stuffed the stuff down his jumper. So, that means we know how Eddie tried to hide the things, the stuff he was trying to steal. He stuffed the stuff down his jumper. He put the stuff under his jumper. He hid it underneath his jumper. So, we can see from that sentence, from the ed ending, that the verb to stuff is regular. When we want to use it in the past simple tense, then all we have to do is add ed to the infinitive. Stuff becomes stuffed. And now that I've finished talking about that stuff, it's time for us to go. Yes, it's that time again. The end of the lesson time. Okay, enough of this stuff. You've all got stuff to do, and I've got stuff to do. All right, I'm off home for a coffee. And you? Well, there's a load of stuff for you to do. The dog needs a walk, the cat needs some milk, and the parrot needs to practice some more Esperanto. All right, people, I'll see you all later. Well, tomorrow, to be more precise. Have fun, enjoy yourselves, and eat something nice. I'll see you all tomorrow. And remember, if you have some spare time, check out the website. Do you remember the name? Yes, that's right. It's www.clickidem, but backwards, and .hu on the end. See you later. Bye.